break, but we've got a short intermission that we want to interject here with some very, very important information. I have Alan Stillman here with me. He's the CEO and founder of Kwikpoint, but the reason he's here is his personal message that he wants to get out, and it's very important in terms of how to identify and prevent strokes. So, Alan, give us your message, and then we'll get a little bit of background. Tell us about strokes and how you identify it, please.
Strokes are a really big killer. More people die of strokes each year than colon cancer, breast cancer, and prostate cancer combined. But here's the good news. They now have a treatment to actually stop a stroke. A stroke is primarily a blocked blood vessel, but there's now ways that medicine can unblock the blood vessel and save your life, but the treatments only work in the first few hours. So it's critical that everyone knows how to spot a stroke so they can call 911 and get the treatment and save their life. There's 5 basic signs to look for.
What are those?
One is slurred speech. A second one is weakness or numbness on one side of the body. The third is loss of balance, loss of vision, or a severe headache. Any one of those is an indicator of stroke. There's also 2 really simple tests that are easy to remember and so key. One is you just ask somebody to smile. And if the smile droops on one side, that's a stroke. You call 911. The second test is referred to as arms. You put your arms out. You ask somebody to put their arms out. If one arm droops down, that is a stroke. You call 911. And so everyone really needs to know those 5 basic signs in the 2 tests.
2 things. What do you, if you realize these symptoms yourself, these indicators, these 5 things, what should you do?
If you observe any of these, not all 5, but any one of them, you should call 911 immediately.
That's if you observe them. What if you experience them?
Or if you're experiencing them.
Same thing.
Yeah, if you feel yourself, having slurred speech, if your vision is going off, any of these, you just pick up that phone, 911, I'm having a stroke.
Tell me about timing. Sounds like that's of essence. What happens? How much time do you have?
So basically, you have roughly 3 hours to get the treatment. The primary treatment is a medication that dissolves the clot. It's called TPA. But the FDA only allows that to be administered in the first 3 hours because of the way it works. So everything from when you call 911 till when you get to the hospital till when they give you the TPA, you have a 3-hour window. And that's a lot to happen in 3 hours. So it's critical people call 911 right away.
So is there any treatment that you, as a layperson without medical training, could do?
No, really, you just keep the person safe. Obviously, if there's some place where it's dangerous, you get them to safety. But you call 911 and you tell them that you believe it's a stroke and when you notice the symptoms, because that time, understanding that time window is critical for the people at the emergency department to administer medication.
Okay, so I'm curious, how did you, I sense it's a personal passion of yours. It's not your core source of income and earnings, but how did you get started on this, and how do you go about spreading the word?
Well, this is purely charitable. This isn't anything I do professionally, but my own grandmother had a stroke. We didn't recognize it, and we waited over 24 hours before calling 911. She never spoke again. She never walked again. She was completely locked in for the last few months of her life. And it just kind of broke my heart. I deeply love my grandmother. And I thought one of the best ways I could honor her is to help other people possibly save their grandparents.
So what's your program look like? What's the extent of it?
So right now I'm working with the city of Alexandria. Alexandria just proclaimed itself through mayoral proclamation as a stroke smart city, and it's a commitment for the city to educate every component, every constituency of the city, from schools to churches to places of worship, businesses. So I'm working with the mayor to do that. And the key thing is, you've heard this today and you'll remember it, but will you remember it in a year, in 5 years, or 10 years? So I've designed these memory aids you see here, and you'll see they basically show those 2 tests, the smile and the arms, and they list the 5 signs. One's a poster that can be put up any place. The second is a refrigerator magnet that I encourage people to put in their homes. And the third are these little wallet cards. And what's kind of special about them is they're made on a paper that's waterproof and tear-proof. So it lasts forever. And you can just have it in your wallet as a reminder and to educate others. And this is one really key point. Often you're not able to observe a stroke in yourself. So it's incumbent upon you to educate the people around you on how to spot it to protect you, but then you also teach them, so it's kind of a win-win. It's like a carry forward.
Bottom line is it's preventable if you know how to do it or what to look for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if preventable is the right word, but it's treatable. An acute stroke literally can be treated in real time. There are people who walk home like it never happened. I mean, they walk out of the hospital and they're fine. You wait a few hours, they're paralyzed, possibly they've lost their life.
Okay, we're running out of time, but could you once more, just to reinforce it, go through the 5 indicators you mentioned,
Sure.
please?
So it's 5 signs: slurred speech, weakness or numbness on one side of the body, loss of balance, loss of vision, or severe headache. Those are the 5 signs. And the 2 simple tests are, you ask somebody to smile, and if one side of the smile droops, that's a stroke. You ask somebody to raise their arms. If one arm drifts down, either one, that's a stroke. If any one of those 2 tests or 5 signs, even one, you call 911 and say,
Get help.
I think it's a stroke.
Okay. Thank you. That's an urgent message. We need to learn it. We need to tell others about it. So thank you very much for coming in today and sharing that with us. And best luck on your work.
Thank you,
That's
Jim.
important work.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.